We're going to look at how you open a session, whether it's a session in the middle of a sequence of lessons, or it's the very first time that you're meeting and greeting and starting a relationship with a new learner group. So we'll look at hooks, openers, and heart starters. So a hook is something that's going to hook the audience's attention. And a classic example of a hook is bringing in a prop with you, something that you'll make relevant to the audience but might initially intrigue them. What on earth is this ridiculous looking thing doing coming into the room? And a classic of that was when Steve Jobs came in with the old-fashioned office envelope, which was quite ironic given his products. Humour. You can hook them with humour. You could, perhaps not be as confident and would like to rely on a YouTube to just introduce as a hook. This one is actually a scene from The Simpsons. So if you are going to use a YouTube, try and think of something that will fit the culture of your audience and something that the majority of the people would be able to identify with. And of course then you've got your humorous YouTubes as well. So most people are familiar with Pink Panther, and if they're not, they are familiar with Steve Martin. So a quick little relevant, again, always keeping it relevant to the subject that you're teaching, would be a great hook to use. And these two last techniques, using the YouTube, is something, if you're still developing your confidence there as a learner, or you're a little bit inhibited. The thing though, if you're going to use the YouTube, is you're going to have to set it up way in advance and make sure all of your equipment's working, because the worst thing you want to happen is having the IT fail on you in a moment in your very first impression. Music's another one. So, getting some sort of pumped up type of music that gets everybody excited. This is one that we use within Module 2. Jump up and get down, jump around. So, you could actually get them all pumped up, whether you actually want them jumping out of their seat or not. It just might be, taking 20 seconds of a music clip. But then you've got to think about, copyright with that as well. So, really investigate that one carefully. Now, another way is you can open yourself up. So this is an opener, and a great, really effective way, really quick way, not relying on IT, is an anecdote, just sharing with someone or the group an anecdote. And if you can make it relevant to the course material, that's even better. So you could talk to them about one of your experiences before you develop the skills and knowledge and attitude for what you're training in. Perhaps share with them an event that happened to you, some mistakes along the way as you were developing your experience. Now that's not what to do, so we've got to look at our body language and, don't be self-depreciating when you're doing this type of anecdote. Don't get all exasperated, but, perhaps try and make it a little bit humorous. Share it with a visual image as you're talking about it. Now this is your classic head in the sand, I just wanted to curl up and die type of idea behind it. But yeah, an anecdote can work, especially if you just want something very quick and efficient and low risk. So it will help you build a relationship and connect. And that anecdote is a fantastic way when you've just met your audience. So a heart starter is when you want to involve some or all of the audience, perhaps one person from the audience, or get them all participating. So this is probably best waiting for a middle of a sequence of training sessions rather than when you've just met them for the first time. You need a chance for those group dynamics and relationships to start up. A quick way is just to run a quick quiz. Get everyone actively involved, a quick quiz on the last session. If you were going to do it in the very first session, you'd be looking at previous knowledge, what they know before it gets started, asking them questions about predicting what's coming up. So I think you find this will work better after you've built a better relationship with them and they're more confident working with each other. And obviously something a bit more kinesthetic is certainly a heart starter to open up a fresh session, something after lunch. Everyone's feeling a bit bogged down after lunch. You would use a more kinesthetic exercise. Don't do exercise, actual strengthening exercises in yoga and meditation and things like that. Keep the activity relevant to what you're teaching. Keep it quick. Keep the instructions simple. And at least by lunchtime, especially if you've only got the people for one day, you've already started to figure out who your more or I guess your less shy type learners are going to be, and they're the ones you might hand pick or just ask permission in the lunch break if you'd mind if you called on them in the next session. So yeah, there's a lot that you can do: hooks, openers and heart starters.